Police are investigating a death in Bar Harbor. Good afternoon, I'm Susan Farley. The controversy continues after Maine Secretary of State barred former President Donald Trump from Maine's ballot. And law enforcement officers throughout Maine are now required to carry it naloxone or have it in their cruisers. Thank you for joining us. We'll have more on these and other stories coming up. First, let's check in with meteorologist Devin Biggs. Devin?
And above average temperatures have been continuing the last couple of weeks. Besides, just before Christmas, we saw slightly below average temperatures. And you guys know, of course, by yesterday, we did see below average temperatures once again, back in those mid-20s. Cold start to the morning today. Look at this, 15 degrees here in town. 11 in Waterville, so extra cold just to the west of town. Up north, Greenville, 14 degrees. So whatever snow is on the ground is still sticking around. Of course, the temperature's in the teens. That is the case. An inch here in town, a little bit more up Millinocket area, and then just north of that is where we're looking at 2, 3, even 4 inches in some spots. West of Greenville, same story. We are looking at those darker blue colors indicating over 2 inches of snow is on the ground. Some spots around 4 inches, but still, we've seen way more snow in the previous years, so it's been extra dry so far, snowfall-wise. Right now, though, we do have some partly to mostly cloudy skies. Throughout the day today, we're going to continue to stay mainly sunny. Some spots have partly cloudy skies, but we're going to continue to see mainly sunny skies for us today. Temperatures at around 34 degrees with a light breeze. For tonight, though, we're looking at upper teens once again. Mainly clear skies, just a few passing clouds, very light winds once again. Then for tomorrow, a little bit warmer. We're looking at above average temperatures continuing. Upper 30s, partly cloudy skies, and a very light breeze. For today, guys, we are looking at temperatures near freezing with lots of sunshine.
Thank you, Conrad. Maine State Police are working with the Bar Harbor Police Department on a death investigation. Our Doug Banks tells us what we know so far.
On Sunday afternoon, the Maine State Police and the Bar Harbor Police began their investigation into a death that occurred in an apartment building on Des Isle Avenue in downtown Bar Harbor here behind me. The cause of death is unknown at this time. We reached out to the Maine State Police and Bar Harbor Police, but details involving how and why this happened are not being released at this time. What we do know, however, what they told us, is that the public is not in danger. And once more details come out about how this happened and why this happened, we'll give you those latest details. In Bar Harbor, I'm Doug Banks for ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
2 people are now recovering after spending the night lost in the woods in Steep Falls. A 48-year-old Leamington man and 55-year-old Baldwin woman were hiking with a friend on Saturday afternoon when they got lost. The 3 spent the night in the woods, and Sunday morning their friend hiked shoeless to a nearby house to ask for help. That person told the homeowner his friends were still lost in the woods and weren't doing well. Around 3 p.m., a canine warden picked up the missing people's scent and found the pair stuck in a bog. Warden started up a fire and gave them food once they saw that both hikers were severely hypothermic and unable to walk. Wardens carried the 2 out of the woods, at times through waist-deep water, to reach safety. 48-year-old Joseph Corrado and 55-year-old Stacy Gain were both taken to a hospital where they are expected to make a full recovery. Over the holiday weekend, multiple government officials across the country, including Maine Secretary of State Shenna Bellows, were targets of a hoax called swatting. Our Augusta reporter Corey Bouchard spoke with Secretary Bellows about the incident and backlash from her decision barring former President Donald Trump from Maine's GOP primary ballot.
What I want people to understand is that this level of threats and harassment and swatting my home and targeting my family and the people that work for me is unacceptable.
Swatting is when someone calls law enforcement and tells them that there's a dangerous situation like an active shooter or burglar at a residence or location to get a tactical team or SWAT team to raid that person's home. This swatting hoax happened to Secretary of State Shenna Bellows on Friday evening, less than 24 hours after she released her decision barring former President Donald Trump from the Maine GOP primary ballot.
When I completed writing my decision, of course, I was prepared for consequences, including opposition and people being upset or angry. Of course, there are people on both sides. We In Maine, we've always agreed to disagree with respect and civility.
Secretary Bellows blames part of the increased threats and violence on a growing political divide fueled by political extremism posing as right-wing news outlets that have increased their attacks over the past few weeks.
Is an effect of the dehumanizing images and the heated rhetoric that has been put forward online targeting me and my family and the people who work for me.
Secretary Bellows says the swatting incident could have gone much worse. Often, swatting incidents are met with injuries, either of those targeted or officers responding to the calls. She says thankfully law enforcement knew how to contact her before they arrived.
They're so professional. They don't tell me whether they agree with or disagree with me, but they are keeping me safe because it is their job.
Secretary Bellows adds law enforcement showed up to her home, did a search of the exterior, and did a search of the interior just to be safe. Former President Trump has until January 5th to file an appeal in Kennebec Superior Court. As of Monday, he has not filed yet. In Augusta, I'm Corey Bouchard with ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
Following her decision to remove Trump from the ballot, Secretary Bellows is facing calls for impeachment from Maine Republican lawmakers. Representative Mike Solobeski is working with Representative John Andrews and several other House Republicans to file an impeachment inquiry for Secretary Bellows. He claims she ignored the law and made a partisan political decision to disenfranchise Maine voters. However, Senate Leader Trey Stewart says the inquiry is not likely to pass.
I started the petition to make sure that we got as much involvement from hardworking Mainers, the voters, as we possibly could. Their voice needs to be heard and they need to be informed on this. We can't have this happen in our state. This is not who we are. We're not a one-sided government. And we've been dealing with this too long.
The only way that that would happen is if a majority in the House decide that that's the right course of action to take. I don't find that likely, given that the majority is controlled by the Democrats and the very people that put the Secretary of State there. What my interest is in is fixing this problem long-term by winning back majorities in the legislature, and then we can pick a different Secretary of State.
Secretary Bellows responded to the calls for impeachment by saying she was only doing her job and following the law.
If the legislature realizes that the law is overbroad or unclear, or they want to change what I'm allowed or required to do, change the law. But this precedent of targeting someone for doing their job under the Constitution and the law, that's a very dangerous precedent. I hope we're not headed into an era of impeachment motions every other day against political opponents.
There are still several procedural stages the proposed inquiry would have to go through in order to be voted on by the House. The second legislative session of the 131st Maine legislature begins tomorrow. A Millinocket man was arrested related to alleged threats made toward town officials, neighbors, and residents. Police say that they received multiple complaints from Millinocket residents on Friday about a man making threats who residents believe to have an extensive criminal history, which disallowed him from having access to firearms. Upon investigation, police found that 48-year-old Trent McCritchie of both Millinocket and Ohio was in fact prohibited from possessing firearms due to an active protection order out of Ohio. McCritchie was taken to the Penobscot County Jail and charged with possession of a firearm by a felon, violation of a protection order, and 2 counts of criminal threatening. A Maine law took effect yesterday that involves the life-saving drug naloxone. As of Monday, law enforcement officers throughout Maine are required to carry naloxone or have it in their cruiser. The drug, also known by the brand name Narcan, is used to reverse the effects of an opioid overdose.
We've used it several times on the street, and it has turned the individual around and saved their life. But it's, early intervention, quick intervention, and the fact that everybody's got it and can use it now, to me, it's going to save a lot of lives.
The sponsor of the bill claims if Maine had the law in effect last year, police could have saved more than 700 lives. Coming up on ABC 7 News at noon, ski areas are having a tough time. We'll be right back.
Because I have both Medicaid and Medicare, I got a special Medicare Advantage plan from WellCare. It's called DSNP. That's DSNP. And it stands for Dual Eligible Special Needs Plan. My grandson. It's my boy.
Hey, Grandma.
And a WellCare D-SNP comes with a whole lot of these. As in, WellCare gives me benefits I can use every day. And real human support. And answers I can understand. And I get benefits like $0 copays on prescriptions. And a WellCare Spendables debit card to pay for things like dental, utilities, and groceries. I can even use it to pay at the pump for gas. And that means a WellCare D-SNP provides what I need when I need it. And that gives me the confidence I need to get through every day.
The coverage you need and more. Call or visit wellcareyes.com to see if you qualify for more benefits.
What I've learned over my 17 years in pharmacy is that every medication has a potential to affect every person differently. That was evident with my own mother. The medications were hindering her ability to think quickly. It did feel a little premature to stop driving, but it was the right thing to do. My message to Mainers would be never doubt the potential side effects. Talk to a loved one about your ability to drive safely.
Whether you're hurt by a landscaping truck like this, a work van like this, or any commercial vehicle, we know how to get you the big money you may deserve.
Hurt by a commercial vehicle? Call the twos. We win for you.
There are so many fun things to do in Maine. Now you can enjoy more for less. Check out Half Off Fun from foxbangor.com.
Healing Hands Massage in Hamden provides professional massage services tailored specifically for our clients. Whether you're looking for relief from chronic pain, stiffness, or just want to treat yourself to a day of relaxation, Healing Hands Massage is the place for you.
There's a limited supply available. It's on sale right now. Save with Half Off Fun from foxbangor.com.
With so much at stake, so much on the line, more Americans turn here than any other newscast. ABC News World News Tonight with David Muir, America's #1 most watched newscast across all of television.
You're watching ABC 7 Bangor.
Literacy Volunteers of Bangor helps adults learn to read, write, and speak better English. However, more volunteers are always needed at the nonprofit in order for it to continue its mission. Literacy Volunteers is currently looking for a few helping hands to volunteer at Bangor on Tap, which will be held at the Cross Insurance Center next month. The nonprofit will receive a $30 donation for every volunteer shift worked at the event. Most volunteers will assist at brewery stations throughout the gathering, and therefore you must be 21 years of age or older. Literacy Volunteers says it is hoping to cover 25 shifts, so the more volunteers it has, the better. Cindy Dwell says that the nonprofit changed her life.
I can read prescriptions now. I can read stuff at the grocery store. I can read instructions on a bag to cook something. My life is awesome.
If you would like to volunteer at Literacy Volunteers or donate your time for a shift at Bangor on Tap event to benefit the nonprofit, give the organization a call at 947-8451 by January 12th or send an email to info@lvbangor.org. It's been 2 weeks since flooding devastated areas in western Maine. That heavily rainfall melted snow and flooded roads, homes, and businesses. Ski Mountains lost big business over Christmas break. Owen Kinsley visited Lost Valley in Auburn, where they're hoping a change in the weather can turn the season around.
A lot more rain boots than ski boots.
For many at Lost Valley on New Year's Day, the skiing season has just begun. Several inches of rain and warmer weather has made it tough for the mountain's big money-making week.
It rained pretty much every day of Christmas vacation.
Raging floodwaters on the Androscoggin last month were partly fueled by snow melting and washing away.
It wiped us clean with no cold temperatures in the forecast, so we couldn't recover quickly.
The mountain did have to close down for just one day after the Grinch storm. They're still recovering now. With snow guns on constantly, they've been able to keep several trails open and hope to open more trails in the coming days.
Because of the weather, a lot of the smaller mountains can't get good business. Unless you're a beginner, I feel like there's not much to do.
About a third of the trails on the mountain are actually open on New Year's Day. The mountain's hoping to be able to open up more as temperatures continue to drop, but it's still enough to get people to come hit the slopes.
I definitely had to make up for lost time. It's been a long time, so it's been good to be back.
Attention is now focused on the mountain's other moneymaker, February school vacation.
That's where we have to kill it, correct. But we do have several big events coming up this season. We've got Mary's Fireman's Race. We've got an ice cross event where people go down the hill on ice skates.
Maine workers who make minimum wage just got a slight pay raise. Brad Rogers has more on the implications for local business owners.
Over the last 22 years, Lisa Kidd's business has grown from 1 to 5 shops and eateries here in Old Orchard Beach and Ocean Park. Over that same time, she's also seen a growth of the minimum wage here in Maine.
When you see New Hampshire is still $7.25 and other places are that low, and we're now at, what's the new one,
$14.15.
$14.15. Yeah, so it's jumped a lot since I started 22 years ago. I think it was around 7.
She provides first-time jobs to a number of young teens with no prior experience. She says paying them more means she also has to pay more to her older teens and college students. She believes Maine should have a training wage for young teens for at least the first 3 months, which she says would encourage more businesses to hire young teens.
It impacts me because I hire a lot of 14 and 15-year-olds too, who come on without sometimes knowing how to use a knife or sweep.
In Portland, the city's minimum wage is going up to $15 an hour from a 2020 city referendum vote. Workers earning minimum wage will see a $1 an hour increase in their pay, which supporters say is still below the cost of living here.
Especially in Portland right now, things are very expensive.
Businesses we spoke with, like Cheese Louise, tell us they have to pay more than $15 an hour if they want to keep their workers or hire new ones.
We have always paid a little bit higher than what the regular Portland base rate has been, but I think for the most part, for the entire city of Portland, that's a great thing. I think people deserve to be paid for what they do.
But for Lisa Kidd, those pay increases come with a cost.
Unfortunately, what's going to happen this year is I have to go up on my prices, which I try not to do every year. But with the increase every year, it just adds to where it's going to come from.
Under the 2020 referendum, Portland's minimum wage now stops at $15 an hour. But the state of Maine does require annual adjustments to minimum wage based on the cost of living. And under that formula, it went up 35 cents an hour.
After the break, the causes of childhood deaths are on the rise. We'll take a look when we come back.
Are your gutters weighed down by debris causing them to sag and overflow? I'm Tony Hafford with TC Hafford Basement Systems. Clogged gutters lead to costly repairs for your home, so skip the cleaning and stop the clogs with Gutter Shutter. Gutter Shutter, the world's best gutter, is a high-performance gutter with a lifetime no-clog guarantee. Stop the clutter, get Gutter Shutter. Call TC Hafford Basement Systems today for all things basementy.
What I've learned over my 17 years in pharmacy is that every medication has a potential to affect every person differently. That was evident with my own mother. The medications were hindering her ability to think quickly. It did feel a little premature to stop driving, but it was the right thing to do. My message to Mainers would be never doubt the potential side effects. Talk to a loved one about your ability to drive safely.
We are a AAA family. I was introduced through my family. My husband was introduced through his family. We had the same insurance company for a long time, and we were fed up with paying a lot of money. We decided to go check out AAA insurance. We were shocked of how much we would save.
Switch to AAA insurance today, and you could save hundreds on auto insurance. For over 100 years, AAA has been providing legendary service and has helped who it values most, its members.
By switching to AAA insurance and bundling our insurance policies, we're able to save over $450. The savings that we get through AAA insurance enables us to do more of what we love. More gas in our car for driving up north to go camp. You do s'mores. You can't lose the s'mores. Yeah.
To find out how much you could save by switching to AAA insurance, call 844-AAA Insurance or visit AAA.com for an auto insurance quote today. AAA, we're always with you.
R&K Variety is more than just a convenience store. With delicious homemade food made fresh daily. We offer hearty meals that don't break the bank. Whether it be our delicious chicken pot pie, one of our many savory soups, or a pizza, you can't go wrong at R&K Variety. Looking for a drink after a long workday? R&K Variety is an agency liquor store with an impressive selection. R&K Variety, more than just a convenience store. We're your neighbor, chef, barista, and friend. Stop by today.
Now to the developing story in the Middle East. Iran has reportedly deployed a warship to the Red Sea. Tensions are rising in the region, with the U.S. now attacking and killing several Iran-backed fighters accused of launching attacks on commercial ships in recent weeks. ABC's Jay O'Brien has the latest.
This morning, a potential escalation in the Red Sea, a crucial shipping lane for global trade. It's where Iran-backed Houthi rebels have been attacking commercial ships in a show of support for Hamas's war against Israel. Now, an Iranian warship has reportedly sailed into the region a day after U.S. forces killed several Houthi rebels. The Pentagon says the Houthis were trying to board a merchant vessel when they fired at 2 U.S. Navy helicopters. The helicopters returning fire, killing 10 rebel fighters. It comes as Israel now plans to withdraw some troops from Gaza in a shift to more targeted operations against Hamas in the coming months. Israel's defense minister says some Israeli residents living near the Gaza border will soon be allowed to return to their homes. They were evacuated after the October 7th attack by Hamas that triggered the war. Yesterday, Israel's military releasing video of its K-9 unit, saying it found weapons inside a kindergarten in Gaza. And according to the Hamas-run health ministry, an Israeli airstrike killed 15 people in central Gaza, bringing the reported death toll to nearly 22,000. This Palestinian girl saying her New Year's wish is to return to her home. Jay O'Brien, ABC News, Washington.
The causes of children's death are on the rise. A study using the CDC's injury reporting system reveals the findings. ABC's Jay O'Brien has the details.
The number of deaths from drugs and firearms in children under the age of 18 have skyrocketed. This, according to a new study from the CDC's injury reporting system from 2011 to 2021. They found that firearm deaths went up by 87% and drug poisoning deaths went up by a shocking 133%. Injuries that did not lead to death also went up, with firearm injuries going up 113% and drug poisoning injuries up by 10%. Other concerning statistics from the study showed that suffocation-related deaths went up by 12.5% and self-harm injuries increased by 57%. With injuries from motor vehicles going down by 47%. Overall, there were more child deaths from injury, but a decrease in non-fatal injuries. With these concerning numbers and trends, it's renewing calls to reconsider how we keep our children safe. With this Medical Minute, I'm Jay O'Brien.
When we return, Devin Biggs has your 5-day forecast.
Great Scott! This is Green Bear 420 in 2010. What kind of trip is this? I gotta get back to 2023. Wait, it's 2015. So much has changed. In 2023, we had a lot more glass, t-shirts, and novelties. It's gonna take a bolt of lightning to get me home. Finally, home at last. Now Green Bear 420, Green Bear Green Care is bigger and better than ever. To be continued.
A family-owned and operated business since 1953, Hammond Lumber Company recognizes the value of their team members and the importance of employee satisfaction. Hammond is honored to have been named one of the best places to work in Maine for 3 years running. This year, Hammond was selected as one of the best companies to work for by Business New Hampshire magazine. Hammond is always looking for great people to join their team. To find your place on the Hammond team, click on the careers link at hammondlumber.com.
I'm sorry. I cannot let you in here.
The only thing that should be in a baby crib is a baby. Letting a baby sleep with blankets and toys can be dangerous. Learn how safe sleeping practices can save your baby's life at safesleepforme.org.
Hi, Todd from Dorsey Furniture here with great news for anybody contemplating new furniture in the new year. Right now and until January 8th, selected floor samples throughout our showroom are half off the list price. These items won't last long and delivery will cost you a little extra, so bring your truck or trailer and take home the beautiful new furniture you've been waiting for. Dorsey Furniture, Route 1A, Holden, open 7 days a week. Start the new year with beautiful new furniture from Dorsey Furniture. Live well, my friends.
Berlin brought in the new year with a bang. Fireworks lit up the sky as many in Germany celebrated the new year Sunday night going into Monday. The celebration took place at historic landmarks across the city. Other cities across the world also hosted events to commence 2024. Some families are celebrating the new year with a new arrival. Keely Richardson is the first baby of 2024 born at Northern Light Eastern Maine Medical Center in Bangor. Keely made an early morning arrival at 12:21 yesterday morning and weighs 6 pounds and 15 ounces. Congratulations to parents Jared and Alexis Richardson. Maine Health welcomed its first baby of the new year exactly an hour later. Leif McFarlane was born at 1:21 Monday morning. He weighs 7 pounds 9 ounces. His parents, Kaylee McFarlane and Cameron Miller of Union, say they are excited for him to join his 2-year-old sister, Ember. Congratulations to all of them. Now let's check your full forecast with Conrad Sapinski. Conrad?
Today's weather is brought to you by Healing Hands Massage in Hamden, providing professional massage services tailored specifically for their clients. Stop by Healing Hands Massage today. You'll thank yourself later. And most of the U.S. guys, pretty calm out there. Not much going on besides a couple of rain showers in El Paso, the West Coast. Once again, back-to-back storms. They're getting some windy conditions and some rain showers in Portland, Seattle, Vancouver, San Francisco, but nothing to worry about for us just yet. Partly cloudy skies out there. A few spots have some mainly sunny skies. That will continue throughout the day today. Just a few passing clouds here and there. Future snowfall, we are looking at a little bit more snow by Thursday. Very minimal, maybe a trace of snow, up to an inch in some spots. Up north by Greenville, a little bit more of those darker blue colors right there, indicating 2, maybe up to 3 inches of snow. We'll keep an eye on things, but a very quick and light moving system will be in the area by Thursday. Winds right now, very calm. 3 miles an hour in town, 3 in Bar Harbor, 0 in Rockland. Augusta's at 0. Waterville is at 3 miles per hour, and up into Greenville, Millinocket area up to 9 miles an hour. Sustained wind. Of course, wind gusts closer to 15, still not too bad. Now, cooler air all the way from up north and made its way down south. Check out New Orleans, 41 degrees, 37 in Jacksonville, 34 in San Angelo, Texas. So some cooler air down south. For us, not quite. Our average is around 30 degrees. Well, we're going to be above that today, tomorrow, Thursday, and then finally starting Friday, right through the weekend, then into beginning of next week. Cooler temperatures will be back into the 20s. So below average temperatures will finally be back in the forecast consistently for several days. For today, though, above average, 34 degrees, mainly sunny, so we'll continue to see decreasing clouds and a light breeze. For tonight, though, mainly clear skies, a few passing clouds here and there. Temperatures will be cooling off into those upper teens. For tomorrow, much warmer. Check this out. Upper 30s outside, under a partly cloudy sky, and a very light wind out of the west at 5 miles per hour. Our extended forecast outlook does show those warmer temperatures by Wednesday, chances of snow by Thursday, very light snow temperatures near freezing, overnight lows back in the teens, and then back by Friday into Saturday, we clear up. Colder temperatures start to roll in back into those mid-20s.
I know the ski resorts need the snow. That's all for ABC 7 News at noon. Thanks for watching. I'm Susan Farley. We'll see you this evening with Peter Dubois and Beth Jones on ABC 7 News at 6. Have a great afternoon.